I'm Dr. Justin Baker, one part of the whole team here at Trinity Sports Medicine Performance Center. We're very excited to offer you specialized and unique options for both your orthopedic injuries and wellness treatment.
If you're hurt, go see Dr. Baker at Trinity Sports Medicine.
When you're injured, you need a team of professionals who can get you back to your game. At Trinity Sports Medicine and Performance Center, Dr. Scarpone, Snell, and Orlowski are committed to treating you effectively so you can return quickly and safely back to the activities you enjoy. Trinity Sports Medicine.
Hey, week 9.
Wow.
I know.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas time. It's time for Jingle All the Way.
Yes. It is.
1 and 2.
It really is.
It really is?
Yeah. The second Jingle All the Way, I think we talked about it. It's not that bad.
Okay.
But the first one's still the best.
Okay. Sinbad.
Yeah. Sinbad, Arnold
I saw Sinbad in
Schwarzenegger.
concert.
That'd be awesome.
He opened for Luther Vandross.
Wow.
How's that?
That'd be awesome.
That was a great concert.
Did he sing One Shining Moment?
Luther did not sing One Shining Moment. He sang a lot of the good stuff, all of his stuff. But yeah, Sinbad was the opener.
He's hilarious.
Yes.
Nice.
First time I saw Luther, he was the opener for Patti LaBelle.
Oh. Nice.
How's that for?
Nice. Yeah, I like that stuff.
That was kind of good stuff. And Patti LaBelle, he was one of her backup singers. And Patti LaBelle said, "Son, you're too good to be one of my backup singers. You need to go on your own." And that's kind of how it all started.
Nice.
How's that?
She called him son.
Well, I don't know. She might have. Old enough to
I'm
be.
sure she did.
Yeah, I'm sure she did. All right. Mike Mathison, Matthew Peaslee, Mike McElwain, kind of really just going like this, please.
Watching us.
Yeah, because, All right.
There's really no camera rolling. We're just
We're just going to do stuff. Interesting week this week. We only have 6 games.
Wow.
Because 5 games, our teams are playing each other.
Nice.
So one of the games that is not playing, the only game not playing each other, Tonawanda Cardinal O'Hara is coming to Steubenville for week 9. Big Red's coming off their bye week. And during their bye week, they jumped from number 2 to number 1 in the Division 4, Region 13 standings. Steubenville Big Red is still number 1 in the Associated Press.
Right.
Their defense is nasty. Some guy named Jalen McGee is back better than ever.
Perfect time.
Yeah, really good time. And I'm sure those kids are itching to get back, because rumor has it, according to the Ed Loomis story, Big Red went at it kind of hard last week during practice.
Yep. Well, if there's no game, they might as well go hard. It's got to be tough waking up Friday morning and not having a game to play. Because I'm sure no matter what school you go to, you're jacked up to be playing Friday night. But when you wake up and don't have a game to play, it's got to be tough, especially when you're expecting one. But Cardinal O'Hara's coming in. They lost 2 games. We don't really know too much about them, but there were 2 losses. They lost to Batavia, New York, home of the Batavia Muck Dogs of the New York Penn League minor league system, and
wow,
and another Catholic school out of Buffalo, New York, St. Jude. They lost to both of them, but both those 2 teams are pretty good. Batavia is 7-0, and this St. Jude team they lost to 7-1. So they come in with I think they're 5-2, just those 2 losses to solid teams, and they're going to be coming in here wanting to get a taste of what the atmosphere of Steubenville.
They've been here before, so they know it. But yeah,
still look for Steubenville to run away with this one.
So does St. Jude have a middle name called Hay?
Hey Jude.
Yeah. All right. I know it's too easy. I love watching McElwain's face right now. It's just go ahead.
The town of Tonawanda.
Okay.
It's home to some famous athletes too.
And
Dave Gissel, Brett Lewis.
Wait, who's Dave Gissel?
Glenn Cook, former Major League Baseball pitchers, as well as Joe Messi, a retired boxer. So
wow,
something in the water up there.
Dropping the 411.
In case it's a suburb.
That's a bar bet right there, baby.
Tonawanda, New York. Joe Messi, retired boxer. Yeah.
That is a bar bet.
Something in the water up there.
Wow.
Yeah, so these kids are coming in wanting to play for Joe Messi.
Joe Messi.
And Brett Lewis or Bert Lewis.
Bert Lewis is like Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Old baseball players.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see. We have the backyard brawl across the river.
West Virginia Pitt.
No, that's not till like 2097 or something like that. Whatever they decided to play it.
Right.
Although it would be kind of good right now because Pitt's 25th in the nation and your W team's about ready. Has a bye week. They should be thankful for that.
Yeah. I got a nice story about that coming up after the podcast.
After the break?
After the break, yeah.
Okay.
So stay tuned for
KC Crest. Whatever.
Toronto Edison.
We're talking about Brooke
Weir.
Backyard Brawl. Woo! Okay, both teams are 12th in the respective divisions. Brooke Class AAA, they're 12th right now at 5-3. They are behind Princeton and Spring Valley. Princeton is coached by a Brooke graduate, Wes Eddy. His first year there. They're number 10. They get to host Wheeling Park this week. And Spring Valley, Weir High 6-2. They are 12th. They need this win to even have an outside glimmer of a chance of a home playoff game. Same thing with the Brooke Bruins. If they have an outside chance of a glimmer of a home playoff game, they need a W also. I think the last time Weir won was 2008. I think it was 28-27. Last year, Brooke took care of it. Weir had a couple oopses, and it's just a big game for both teams.
Can't have any oopses this year, either team in a big game. Obviously, they both know what's at stake with these home playoff games.
Yes, absolutely.
Just from talking to the kids at the beginning of the season, when you ask them, okay, what's your goal? The kids I talked to, they both said, we don't want to just make the playoffs. We want to host a home playoff game.
Exactly.
And it's going to be huge for Weir to get this or for Brooke to get this. Both teams coming off really nice wins. Brooke took care of Parkersburg South coming in here. And
40 unanswered.
Yeah.
Right, Mike? 40 unanswered. 40 unanswered.
Meaning they were down early.
They were down 7-0 and scored 40 unanswered.
And Parkersburg South did not answer those
during
touchdowns.
The 40.
Those 40s. Right.
Okay. They waited until it was 40-7 to answer.
Right. We had a discussion about that.
Yes, we did.
And then Weir took
pretty lame one at that.
But Weir took care of Edison. Big game out of Cam Davis on his 18th birthday. He only carried the ball 8 times, but had almost 120 yards rushing and 2 of the nicest touchdown runs I've seen out of a running back this year. Could have looked for it on SportsCenter Top 10. This one run that Davis had bounced off 2 would-be tacklers and into the end zone for a nice touchdown. So you got to have a big game out of him against Brooke, but it's really going to be big for both defenses to step up here.
I agree with you. Both defenses, I completely agree with you. And like I said, there's a chance, because if you don't host a playoff game, who knows in the state of West Virginia where you're going to travel to.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Since you spoke of it earlier, Toronto at Edison.
Another I'm just thinking of the backyard
brawl. They haven't played, I think since 2008 would be a guess. 2007. So my guess was close. Huge game for the Toronto Red Knights. They are 7-1, 4th in Division 7, Region 23. This game, since Edison is a Division 5 team, that gives them a couple extra points. And because Toronto's looking at hosting a playoff game for the first time in school history. So big, huge game for the Red Knights. They've had a couple walks the last couple weeks, and now big time with Edison. Edison's only 1-7, but they've played a lot of really good football. They're just young. They're
going to be at home, too. There's always good crowds at Cartwright Field,
I agree.
So I'm sure this is going to be a big game for both sides coming out. It's going to be a packed house. I'm looking forward to being there.
Yes, you are.
So I'm excited for that. I always like watching both teams play. So it's as easy as Toronto's had it the past couple weeks, putting up 50 points, only limiting the opposing offenses to a touchdown here or there, nothing most of the time. They're going to have their work cut out for them against Edison. Like you said, Edison's played well.
It's played well at times. Coach Dick said, we played offense well, then defense not well, or defense well, special teams not well. He's still looking for the team to put together 4 quarters of football on all 3 phases.
Right. Toronto runs the ball a lot. I think last week they only had 4 pass attempts. Edison likes to throw the ball when they can. Joey Nave is a solid quarterback. It's about 20 attempts per game. Nick Glen and Dom Rogers are their 2 big receivers. So if they want to look at knocking off Toronto, I bet they're going to have to get at those guys and see what they can do with it out in space.
All right, another big rivalry game. Indian Creek goes to Harrison Central in Cadiz. The Fighting Huskies are, 7-1?
I think so.
Huskies 7-1 after a big W over Martins Ferry. They got smacked by St. C. Came back with a couple wins. Beat Oakland last week 41-3. They are 4th in Division 5, Region 17, 8th in the AP State poll. And the other thing, just like Toronto, if Harrison wins out, they have a really good chance of hosting the first playoff game in school history.
Nice.
And right now, because I can do that and Coach Kropp can't, right now that there's a pretty good chance that would be West Lafayette Ridgewood would be coming to Cadiz during the first week of the playoffs. So they have a lot to play for. Indian Creek, I watched them. They're 5-3. I watched them beat Beaver Local last week in double overtime. And, their defense played well at times. They gave up 4 big plays. They gave up over 300 yards of offense. but they gave up a 31-yard run, a 41-yard run, a 67-yard pass, and a 55-yard pass. Other than that, their defense was stellar.
Like they have been all year.
Yeah.
Creek's defense.
Big plays just get you, man.
Yeah. And that could happen in almost any team when you get one by you like that. But their body of work shows that they do have a good defense. But on the other hand, Harrison Central has that big play capability with Travis Stenson, who will be healthy for this game, running the ball.
Brandon Mitchell,
Jesse Ball is fun to watch, just rumbling, stumbling his way through.
Yes.
Austin Porter is a big play receiver, too. So
that's a good team.
It's going to be high-flying offense against stout defense.
And Creek just can't turn the ball over. You can't give good team. You just can't give teams extra possessions, and Harrison's a really good football team, obviously. And then, I've been at Kettlewell a couple times this year. Covered the game last week, and they did a nice job. You win a game in double overtime on senior night. Life is good. And I'm listening to some Indian Creek fans whining about Coach Connor. Hey, Indian Creek fans, shut up. He's 48-20 in the regular season since the 2009 season. 48-20. Stop whining. Okay.
Heard it here first.
There you go. Buckeye Locals 0-8 goes to 2-5 Oak Glen. Oak Glen gets them at home. Then Oak Glen goes to Beaver Local and then Tyler Consolidated. Beaver Local obviously is another rivalry game for the Oak Glen Golden Bears. Tyler Consolidated picked up a huge upset W last week, so they're on the cusp of the Class A playoffs. So Oak Glen's coming in. They need to right the ship. They got beat last week 41-3 at Harrison. Beat the week before 28-7 to East Liverpool, the Battle of the Bridge. They just need to figure things out and give the ball to that Dakota Price kid. Find Kyle Perez. Yep. Find Chase Crago and maybe Michael Campbell, but just get back on the winning track as they could finish the season win, go 5-5.
It's a solid finish to a year, especially for a team looking for confidence. I know they were confident coming into this year, especially Ian Whittington after getting that nice OVAC win leading West Virginia. I think that fired him up to have a nice winning season for Oakland. The best they could finish is 5-5, but that's still ending on a positive note and in their steps to building the program back up. Dakota Price has been slowed down the past few weeks. I think he only had 2 carries.
Yeah, 2 carries last week.
So I'm sure if he's healthy enough for this game, he's going to be running wild. And that's
see what Lance Collins does back at quarterback. And the Buckeye Locals just been giving up big plays. They're playing well at Spurs, just giving up big plays, and they're also a mash unit at the same time. Yeah. So
Dylan Dokes was their big guy at the beginning of the year. He's hurt.
I'm not sure who's on the team's not hurt. They just dinged up to no end. The Saturday night game is the Catholic schools getting at it. Steubenville Catholic Central going to Jimmy Carey to face the Weirton Madonna Blue Dons. Weirton Madonna's off a tough 32-27 loss to Clarksburg Notre Dame, in which, guess what, big plays. Clarksburg Notre Dame quarterback went 91 for a score during the 20-point third quarter by Notre Dame. And Steubenville Central scored 21 in the first and just took care of Bishop Donahue 42-14. Central's now 4-4. Madonna's 2-5. Central's 4-4. Division 6, Region 21. I think they're 14th, but they need a host of help in order for them to make the playoffs. But they've won 3 in a row. Huge wins. Who did they beat? They beat Bel Air 40-14 at Bel Air. They beat Barnesville at Barnesville 13-12. And last week they beat Donahue at John Marshall 42-14. A little bit on a roll. Yeah, they must be butter.
They must be cool as cool as the other side of the field.
Very good.
And that's what Tony Barber is, because he's having big games.
And the law said you got to rise. We're throwing our little Stuart Scott. Sorry about that.
Booyah! May he rest in peace.
Say Tony Barber, what?
Yeah, but he's been throwing the ball really well, as we know, about 200 yards each game. He ran for more than 100 yards last week. So again, if the Clarksburg Notre Dame quarterback has some nice runs, look for Tony Barber to get through that Madonna defense too. But this is always a fun game. I remember always talk about that game in
2 years
ago at Jimmy Carey Stadium, and just how it came down to the wire, and Madonna pulls that out on their way to eventual state championship.
Comus kind of runs out of nowhere, and here Colabella is trying to make sure Comus doesn't break the edge, and he throws it up for grabs, and some kid named Marcelo Biondillo comes down with it. Just a great play by him, and
that was a fun game.
And
the kids that are playing now,
some of them were there. Absolutely, some were playing that game. So Madonna's 2-5. They kind of changed their offense. They're now ground and pound, and with Tristan McCoy and And Dylan Shaw, and I just completely have whiffed on who the freshman is.
Donovan Kirby.
He's Kirby, thank you very much.
Nice carries, too.
Yes, and they threw the ball 9 times last week. I think they ran it another 60-something times.
Yeah, McCoy had 30 carries on his own.
For buck something. I forget what it was. And scored. Look, Madonna has found a thing that works right now, and is keeping the ball away from the other offense. Mm-hmm. Now they just defensively they just have to not give up big plays.
And I think we talked about it during the year about Central fumbling the ball here and there. They didn't have any fumbles against Bishop Donahue, and obviously they rolled to a nice victory. So the offense was clicking, and if you give the ball up to Madonna, they're going to not give it back up unless they make it to the end zone. So it should be fun.
Should be a good game. Should be a really good game at Jimmy Carey Saturday night. And then we get ready for Week 10 next week.
Wow.
Then after that, first round of the Ohio playoffs.
Nice.
And Week 11, just for a little preview, Week 11, Weir and Brooke have their byes. Oakland is hosting Tyler Consolidated, and Weirton Madonna heads to Clay Battelle. So Week 11, Coach Tony Ferberto from Weir High loves the Week 11 bye for 2 reasons. If your season's over, your season's over. Everyone can get healthy for a week before getting ready to start basketball practice. If you're in the playoffs, you get a week to rest, you get a week to relax, you get a week to go scout, kind of figure out who you're going to go play. I think it's a very intelligent decision. Yep. Not that, if that's what you want to do, I think it's a good call. Really, good call.
Good call. Nice call.
How you doing, Mike?
Great.
He's awesome.
I got my story real quick.
The West Virginia story. I gotcha.
So the last thing that I guess the only positive out of West Virginia's loss to Baylor was David Sills, their freshman wide receiver.
Yes.
He was brought in as a quarterback, famous for committing to USC as a 7th grader.
Really?
Same kid. I covered a game when he at his Christian school, it was called Red Lion Christian Academy in Delaware. As a true freshman, I keep saying this, true freshman is in high school.
All high school kids are true freshmen, right. By the way, just so you know.
So he was a freshman at Red Lion Christian Academy.
Okay.
He played Ursuline.
Okay.
And I covered that game in 2011. And David Sills passed for more than 200 yards as Red Lion Christian Academy rolled Ursuline 54-18, snapping Ursuline's 21-game winning streak of back-to-back-to-back state titles. David Sills was the quarterback on that team, and now he's
a wide receiver
for West Virginia.
For Dub V.
Who give him 2 or 3 years, and he might be the starting quarterback, but Dana Holgerson really likes what he's doing at wide receiver as a true freshman in college.
There you go, in college, true freshman.
To read more about David Sills, check out Wednesday's Herald-Star and Weirton Daily Times.
Wow, look at that.
Plug.
Wow, you've been listening to McElwain. I'm impressed.
And here's to McElwain.
Yep.
Oh, there's dust in there.
Dust in the wind?
Dust in the
All
cup.
we are is dust in the wind. Hey, see you next week. Later.
Happy Halloween. No, we'll be back before Halloween.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. We'll just say Merry Christmas right now.
Hava Nagila.
Feliz Navidad.
Are we rolling?
No.
Rolling. Get the camera rolling, right.
This is Star Sportscast After Dark.
Us and Elvira behind the camera.
Like back in the day when there was Cinemax After Dark.
Don't you look like how nice I look? Nice shirt.
Very attractive.
It's got buttons and a collar.
It's got buttons and everything. Aaron buttoned it for him.